Here's what I don't get. This fellow's taken years of abuse and about a year total has been in this setup, and it was just pulled from it. Zero issues. And I just dropped this in, copied the gain settings, or copied all the settings and fine-tuned the gain. And I can beat it like that all day, but then when I turn the gain down, it's got problems. What the fuck? Well, I got my oscilloscope and we're gonna prod around a little. All right, I think we found a problem. I'll put it in accessory mode. Well, I haven't traced it all the way back, but that's a fucking problem. That's a really high frequency coming out too, it would appear. I don't know. I run it all the way down and it still appears to be a bar like that. So yeah, that's probably stressing the amp out. All right, let's see. I don't understand what I actually can't zoom in on this waveform. What the hell is this? Not happy, that's for sure. All right, I need to check what's going on the RCA side. Actually, we're gonna put you back on accessory. Shut the fuck up. Let's see. Okay. What the fuck? Alright, disconnect the bass knob. What the hell? Yeah, by the way, for electrically, there's our cab ground, and the battery will be mounted to a similar cab ground over there. And we got our, this is running straight to the amp from the engine block and straight to the amp from the alternator. This is OFC, not CCA, so there shouldn't be no electrical. The only sketchy connection I know I have in here is the ground to my ECU is kind of rotted. Still connected though. I'm pretty sure I start to smell this fucker a bit ago, and yeah, she's toasty. Not super hot, but I haven't made the transformers dark yet. But what the fuck? So it's not the remote, and it's not the RCA's. My only other things to disconnect would be, I guess, maybe the ignition wire. Maybe there's something coming through the ignition wire. I could try manually jumping that. All right, made our trunk go bang ignition. That's fucking coming from the amplifier, because I just bypassed. That is just positive and ground coming through. Everything else is disconnected. The only other option I have is I could physically disconnect the speaker, but that shouldn't be causing any issue. Alright, as a process of elimination, I disconnected one coil from the sub, gave the amp a 2 ohm load, tried it, disconnected the other coil, which I'm measuring right now, just going straight from the wires. I think still I think this amp is doing this to itself. I'm about to do the next dramatic thing, which would be to physically disconnect the amp and try it on an external battery. Or maybe I could just contact SurgeAudio and ask them if this is a normal operation for the amp. I mean, I don't get what the hell would have made this thing cranky and why this thing would be upset. This is exactly what happened to the last amp I had. I had to return this on warranty. And again, the Sundown amp was dropped right in here. Like, as far as like the low pass filter and subsonic, I literally just copied the screw settings, dropped this amp into the same location, wired it up the same way, and then just did my gain from there. All right, you know, curiosity is killing the cat here. I want to know what yields. Okay, I should make sure I'm not burning a damn line in my screen. Nope, wrong one. We need to hook the Sundown up and see if we get that same feedback. All right, everything's connected except for my shit, I gotta actually change the angle of this. All right, everything is connected except for a bass knob. Yep, we're on. I heard the relays click, There's no feedback. I'm gonna hook a bass knob. Yep, and I heard it click off. I'm gonna hook a bass knob up to it. What the fuck? You're a good amp. Why do you have to do shit? Also, this would have knocked out a theory that I already could see people typing in the video. That, oh, well, maybe that's a ground loop because you're running an oscilloscope on AC power and you don't have an isolation transfer. The car is entirely off the grid and is electrically isolated from everything else. The car is the isolation transformer. Surge actually spoiled me with their bass knob, and this was actually my remote switch. I didn't have, I had that taped off and hidden inside the box. And yeah, I wanted to have my volts right there. And if this amp was permanent, I probably would have installed a thermocouple on the hottest running part of it to keep a track of that, but and 3D printed the housing. But this was only supposed to hold me over for a few weeks to a few months. And it looks like it's going back in. Yeah, I gotta use the 10 divider on the thing, but yeah, there's something wrong with you, man. What the hell? Look at you sitting there. I never even made an airflow bracket for you. I treated you like a king, and you let me down so quickly. Why? Okay, now admittedly, if there is something electrically wonky with this vehicle, well, you know, it didn't kill the Walmart piece of shit amp I had before this. In fact, that amp is sitting over there. Yep, I used to have this amp running off of like 4-gauge wire from some jumper cables that I had stripped the ends off enough to fit in there, which was running to the same spot electrically where that is now. And that went up to like a Walmart 12 and then some unbranded Mexican thing. And I never sent this into protection, but I got her toasty. I used every bit this amp would give me. Why? Why can't you hold up to a Walmart amp? Oh. Okay, that is something you have going against you. Quality of components is actually probably better in this Walmart amp. Made in Korea, not China. But you know what? But you fucking know what? That Sundown amp I bought in like either 2015 or 2016 is a Chinese produced Korean half bridge. So and you've got more advanced shit in you. You got thermal protection. You got a voltmeter to updates way faster, and I'm pretty sure rated for a higher voltage range. So what the fuck? And this amplifier has been through all my learning phases of car audio. It's been through some janky electrical shit. It's been through me running multiple strands of this for power wire. It's been through me beating it at 9 volts. It's been I've thrown this thing in to protect so many times. I learned everything from this amp. You got the scope gain. You got the solid fucking ground going to the engine, to the alternator, right where the power is coming from. And not only that, you got to be built in the system with the 120 amp alternator. Yeah, I know I can't feed it all the way, but I can keep an eye on the voltage. I mean, that amp used to be, and the Sundown amp used to be, when this truck was an automatic, it used to sit right here, capacitor never moved, and that amp's, the fucking Surge's cousin's been happily in here, and look at this wiring. Of course, this is wiring from 2015, and it's getting corroded. I haven't had the vehicle that long, but this wire has been used in multiple things. It's CCA. And You know, I watched the voltmeter. This is not the greatest connection on here. Yeah. This truck's been limped for a while. In fact, it's not even being limped anymore. It'll be limped again soon. I'm very agitated. And this is the second time this happened. Now, the last time I got an amp, this thing ran good for months. I had no issues. Then all of a sudden, my car starts filling up with smoke when I was doing the same conditions I was doing yesterday, bumping techno at a low volume. I caught it much sooner before anything visually cooked on this. On the other one, it got so bad that these were black and the acrylic cracked around here and the board looked burnt. The amp was still running, but same day, within a few hours of me having this thing set up and bumping it. Now the other one, like I said, it went through months. I loved it. It ran great. Man, what the fuck? Now, I'm gonna... Hell, maybe I'll send this video to Surge. Maybe they'll know what the hell's up. I want this amp to work. Fuck, man, this ruins my my Labor Day. Also, if anybody's at Surge watching this, one thing I did not mention, I don't think it would make a difference, but when I sent back my first amp, you know, I only sent you the amp, and you guys actually sent me back a spare bass knob and cable, which I actually don't have a use for. And if I send the amp back, well, actually, this one I did take apart because that blue LED was awful, and I actually cut up a piece of a trash bag and put it in front of it. And it's perfectly readable, even in broad daylight like that, but I can actually, it doesn't hurt my eyes to look at it. I planned on some point, and actually, I even bought the display for it. I was going to solder in a green one, so it just wasn't awful on the eyes. But I never got around to doing that. And then when I did that, I was going to actually permanently mount the bass knob. This was a test install that went way too long. Obviously, I'm not going to install the... Yeah, but I'm still using the same bass knob. If there's something wonky with the bass knob that could fuck up something in the amp, that was not something I accounted for.